So look what's going on here. I'm watching German television. What? German television. And then this guy comes on German television. His name is Wolfram. Oh, what a nice name. Wolfram. Wolfram Wiener. You want to Wolfram that Wiemer. So her name
Weimer if the I comes after the
I like saying Wiemer.
Oh.
But I'll say Weimer.
I thought you were saying like Ukrainians would say it.
I want to say it like if he was the Anthony Weiner. He's like Anthony Weiner. It's right in his name.
Wiemer.
His name is Weiner. It's right in his name. His name is Weiner. It's right in his name. So anyway, he goes on German TV, and he goes again against the establishment consensus in Germany, which is that the same thing we feel about Ukraine, they think so too. But he says the truth, which is not. So maybe we should turn it down a little because he says, I'm afraid we are now faced with a situation where we have to face an uncomfortable truth. And that is that Russia has won this war. Now our chancellor is working with this language template. Russia must not win this war. Ukraine must win. I'm just wondering where this is headed politically because, in fact, Russia has practically conquered the Donbass. It's just a matter of a few days. The area gains are huge. They are about as big as Holland and Belgium put together. The land connection to Crimea is there. That means, how is Russia supposed to lose this war now? Ukraine does not have the strength, even with the weapons that we still can't deliver. And Russia is also winning in the international game of sanctions. The Chinese have just jumped on China. The Indians are doing business like never before with Russia. Important emerging countries like Brazil and South Africa have left the West. And the federal chancellor has a trip to South Africa. He was embarrassed on the open stage. They don't want sanctions. They don't even want to talk about a war of aggression. That means we have to also lost this international struggle for the majority. And I'm afraid we have to admit that. And because I assume that Macron's initiative is based on realpolitik insight, we cannot win this war. We have to end it as quickly as possible. That this is also of great value, that the start of a diplomatic initiative. That's what I actually expect from our federal government, precisely because it was so reluctant to keep the channel to Moscow open. Berlin actually has to present a peace plan, and I hope the trip to Kiev will result in him doing so. Whoa, that was heavy duty. That was heavy. Jackson, your reaction.
You did a great job of reading that.
Thank you.
It really dumped him.
No, my reaction 100% on point. I'm surprised that they let him say that on TV. Der Spiegel, which is the largest German Western media outlet, they were one of the largest. They removed testimonies of civilians released from Azovstal who were captured as human hostages down there. I'm surprised they let him even say that, but he's 100% on point.
Can't they just lie and say Ukraine did win and then end it and be like, they got rid of that pesky Donbass that was
that's
had it removed.
That's what they're trying to do. They're the political off ramp that people like Henry Kissinger is creating is they're saying we don't want to embarrass Russia by destroying them so badly, because if we do, that might cause Putin to freak out and launch a nuke at Western Europe. So why don't we just say like, oh, okay, Putin, we're going to call this an end, and we're going to take our losses there.
What's the end?
What's the end?
No, you said what was that you just said? Say it again.
What Henry Kissinger is saying, the political off-ramp.
Yeah.
They're trying to say that, and multiple EU leaders have said this. Macron said this. They're all saying this now. They're saying, we don't want to destroy Putin so badly in this war that he freaks out, gets mad at the West that we're destroying him so badly, and then does something chaotic like launches a nuclear bomb at the West. Therefore, we're going to try to urge negotiations, bring an end to this, so we don't make Putin freak out and lose his temper.
That's what they're saying now?
Some are saying that, some are not. Boris Johnson still wants more war. Jens Stoltenberg has revoked his previous position that Ukraine is going to have to cede territory, and now he's back to saying that Ukraine can take all of the Donbass and Crimea. They're all over the place.
And so people will say, oh, so you're just going to appease Putin because he has a nuclear weapon? You're just going to appease him? Now,
That's
no.
what Boris Johnson's saying.
Right. No, the reason why you would do that is, A, because there was a peace accord, the Minsk agreement, and they didn't follow it. And the people in the Donbass want to be separated. It was a coup that overthrew their government anyway. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of ins, a lot of outs, as the dude would say. And so now, as cover for people saying we need to have a diplomatic solution to this, now as cover, they're going to say because he's going to use a nuclear weapon. I mean, that's always a possibility, but the big greater point is we all know this is how it's going to end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That there's no way Ukraine is going to be able to win this war. Go ahead, Jackson.
I think the only reason why there's, with the exception of Boris Johnson, there's people like Jens Stoltenberg at NATO who are trying to pursue this for longer. I mean, obviously it makes money for weapons manufacturers, but what they really want is to have something that they can look at and wave around and say, oh, well, Russia's plan, this invasion, it actually backfired. And that would be to get Finland and Sweden into NATO, which at this point, NATO's so dysfunctional, they can't even all get on board with. They didn't check in with Turkey before approving these plans. And Turkey's currently blocking NATO from bringing Finland and Sweden into their ranks. But I think that's what they really want. And they're probably not going to try to stop until they get at least that.
Well, some truth bombs from German TV. And believe me, they don't. That was, yeah, it was crazy they allowed it, but maybe it was live. Maybe they couldn't stop them. Hey, we're doing stand-up dates: Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, Chicago, Sacramento, and then San Diego, where I'm taping my new special. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all our live shows. We're coming to your town, maybe.